Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jayam Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajacharya Ashtatara Tata Srimad Abhay Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai ISKCON Pratishtacharya Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Pramsa Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Ki Jai Jai Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhana Ki Jai Jai Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki Jai Samaveda Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Jai Nitai Go Premanande Hari Hari Va. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to the assembled devotees, Hare Krishna. All glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, 8th Canto, Chapter 16, text number 55. Dakshinam Gurave Dadyat Dakshinam Gurave Dadyat Dakshinam Gurave Dadyat Ritvig Bhyascha Yatar Hataha Ritvig Bhyascha Yatar Hataha Ritvig Bhyascha Yatar Hataha Annadyanashva Pankamscha Anyadyanashva Pankamscha Prinayet Samupagatan Prinayet Samupagatan Dakshinam Gurave Dadyat Ritvig Bhyascha Yatar Hataha Annadyanashva Pankamscha Prinayet Samupagatan Dakshinam Gurave Dadyat Ritvig Bhyascha Yatar Hataha Annadyanashva Pankamscha Prinayet Samupagatan. Gurave Dadyat. We take it. Matajis? Dakshinam, some contribution of money or gold. Gurave, unto the spiritual master. Dadyat, one should give. Ritvigvyaha, sorry, Ritvigvyaha cha, and to the priests engaged by the spiritual master. Yata arhataha, as far as possible. Anna adyena, by distributing prasad. Ashvapakan, even to the chandalas. Persons habituated to eating the flesh of dogs. Cha, also. Praninayet, one should please. Samupagatan, because they have assembled there for the ceremony. Translation and purpose. One should satisfy the spiritual master and assistant priests by giving them cloth, ornaments, cows, and also some monetary contribution. And by distributing prasad, one should satisfy everyone assembled, including even the lowest of men, the chandalas, eaters of dog flesh. Purport. In the Vedic system, prasad is distributed, as recommended here, without discrimination as to who may take the prasad, regardless of whether one be a brahmana, shudra, vaishya, kshatriya, or even the lowest of men, a chandala. He should be welcome to accept prasad. However, where the chandalas, the lower class, or the poorer class are taking prasad This does not mean that they have become Narayan or Vishnu. Narayan is situated in everyone's heart, but this does not mean Narayan is a Chandala or a poor man. The Mayavad philosophy of accepting poor man as a Narayan is most envious and atheistic movement in Vedic culture. This mentality should be completely given up. Everyone should be given the opportunity to take prasad. But this does not mean that everyone has the right to become Narayan. Okay, so I will read the other text. Thank you, Mataji, for 40, yeah? If one can afford to, one should and offer prayers to the Lord for His glorification. Then one should circumambulate the Lord and finally, with great delight and satisfaction, offer obeisances, falling straight like a rod, dandavat. After touching to one's head all the flowers and water offered to the deity, one should throw them into a sacred place. Then one should feed at least 2 brahmanas with sweet rice. One should perfectly honor the assembled brahmanas one has fed. And then, after taking their permission, one should take prasad with his friends and relatives. For that night, one should observe strict celibacy. And the next morning, after bathing again, with purity and attention, one should bathe the deity of Vishnu with milk and worship him according to the methods formally stated in detail. Worshipping Lord Vishnu with great faith and devotion and living only by drinking milk, one should follow this vow. One should also offer oblations to the fire and feed the brahmanas, as mentioned before. In this way, until 12 days have passed, one should observe this Payo Vrata, worshipping the Lord every day, executing routine duties, performing sacrifices, and feeding the brahmanas. From Pratipad until the 13th day of the next bright moon, Shukla Trayodashi, one should observe complete celibacy, sleep on the floor, bathe 3 times a day, and thus execute the vow. During this period, one should not unnecessarily talk on material subjects or topics of sense gratification. One should be completely free from envy of all living entities. One should be a pure and simple devotee of Lord Vasudeva. Thereafter, following the directions of Shastra, with help from Brahmanas who know the Shastra, on the 13th day of the moon, one should bathe Lord Vishnu with 5 substances: milk, yogurt, ghee, sugar, and honey. Giving up miserly habit of not spending money, one should engage for the gorgeous worship of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu, who is situated in everyone's heart, who is situated in the heart of every living entity. With great attention, one must prepare an oblation of grains boiled in ghee and milk, and must chant the Purusha Shukta mantra. The offering of food should be of varieties of tastes. In this way, one should worship the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One should satisfy the spiritual master, Acharya, who is very learned in Vedic literature, and should satisfy his assistant priests, known as Hota, Udgata, Advaryu, and Brahma. One should please them by offering them clothing, ornaments, and cows. This is the ceremony called Vishnu Aradhana, or worship of Lord Vishnu. O most auspicious lady, one should perform all these ceremonies under the direction of learned acharyas, and should satisfy them and their priests by distributing prasad, and one should also satisfy brahmanas and others who have assembled. One should satisfy the spiritual master and assistant priests by giving them cloth, ornaments, cows, and also some monetary contribution. By distributing prasad, one should satisfy everybody assembled, including even the lowest of men, or the chandalas, eaters of dog flesh. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalokaya Chakshuru Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So in this sections here, then the Payovrata, Prayoga, is described, the procedure for executing this particular vrata, which is capable of bestowing a very qualified and saintly offspring. So, as you all know from the story, Devahuti, she was desirous of son. She had a strong desire to have a son because her children have left the ashram and her husband was not there as he was preoccupied performing his spiritual duties. So in the absence of the sons and in the absence of the husband, she developed strong desire to have a child. As a result of that, then this vrata is given to her so that she can satisfy her desire in a proper, authorized manner. So this payavrata is quite difficult to perform in this age. As we know in Mayapur, it's hard to get milk for 2 weeks straight, the kind of quality of milk which we are talking here about. So therefore in the Kali, this age of Kali, Srila Prabhupada has given another method, another procedure for performing this vrata for conceiving a Krishna conscious child. He recommends chanting many rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and with that one can obtain the same result as Devahuti has obtained by following the Payovrata. So the instruction which is given here, and a point which Srila Prabhupada emphasizes in his purport, is the importance of distributing prasad. Obviously, prasad is very much connected to the various sacrifices, Vedic rituals, and deity worship, primarily, to the deity worship. As part of the Archana Vidhi, there is always prasad offered to the deities. And the quantities and the qualities of the prasad which should be offered to the deities is being described in these verses. After that, this prasad is freely distributed to everyone. Even those who are considered to be the lowest kind. So this prasad is a very essential theme of Vedic worship and Vedic ceremonies. One receives the mercy of the Lord by worshipping the Lord. But that mercy is not being kept for oneself. That mercy is then distributed and shared with everybody. This is the nature of the Absolute. Absolute is unlimited. There's enough mercy for everybody. In the material world, the world of scarcity, when we get something, we want to keep it all for ourselves. Getting a drop of water on a desert is not enough to even satisfy one person. There is no question of distributing a drop of water to other people. But the mercy of the Lord is different. The mercy of the Lord is unlimited. And if the worship of the Lord is performed properly, there is unlimited prasad, unlimited food to be distributed. And we read about it in various scriptures, in Puranas, in Srimad Bhagavatam, in this story even, how when people are properly engaged in Krishna conscious activities, there is so much opulence that one can feed thousands and thousands and thousands of people. So much resources are given by the Lord. Unlimited people can be fed. And we see it till today. There are some temples which are very, very nice and well established, and they feed thousands, lakhs and lakhs of people every day. So prasad means mercy of all the different forms of the Lord. The deity form is considered to be very merciful, because normally to see the Lord eye to eye directly, one needs some special spiritual qualification. It's not a simple thing to see the Lord. But the Lord in his deity form is so merciful and so kind that he is visible even to the ordinary eye. So that's one of the very special qualities of the deity. That deity manifests to everyone indiscriminately. And the deity also, by his causeless mercy, likes to distribute its prasad to everybody indiscriminately. Lord Jagannath is famous for that. So, here Srila Prabhupada brings out some misconceptions that are born from speculation and attachment to mundane philanthropy. Sometimes people like to distribute food, not because this is the Lord's prasad, and everybody, or every living entity, is entitled to receive Lord's prasad, but they like to distribute prasad due to some humanitarian or philanthropic attachments or needs. So Srila Prabhupada mentions this misconception or speculation of Poor Narayan or Daridra Narayan. So this idea was originally, given credit or discredit to Swami Vivekananda, the infamous Swami Vivekananda, who come up with that term, Daridra Narayan, Poor Narayan. And Srila Prabhupada points out that this is something which is born out of envy only. Imagine how envious one should be when you take somebody who has unlimited wealth and you call him a poor man. Yeah, you take, I don't know, who is very wealthy these days, Donald Trump, I guess he's wealthy, and say, he's just a pauper, he's a poor, he has nothing. How much your consciousness has to be covered by illusion and envy to make statement like that. So Swami Vivekananda being a Mayavad philosopher, he came up with this term, Daridra Narayan. So those years of Swami Vivekananda, India was quite troubled country. There was lots of unrest, and this was going towards the end of British Raj. There were many famines, many problems. They were managing very nicely their own affairs, meaning making money and taking money out of India. But the national affairs, the common people's affairs, were not as well managed. So as a result of that, there was lots of poverty in India. Lots of poverty in India. So people were suffering a lot. And people with those philanthropic, humanitarian desires and needs, including politicians, they were very, very concerned about the common man who was suffering from hunger. So in 1931, there was a big flood in Malda, I think. Or Midnapur, I think, from what I recall, Midnapur. And many people lost their livelihood, they lost their property as a result of the flood. So there was lots of poverty at that time in that district. It was heavily affected. So people became very, very concerned. The political parties, the liberation movements, they became very, very active. That's what the politicians do. Whenever there is some crisis in a society, they thrive on it. It's not that they really care so much about the people, but it's a good opportunity to get people worked up so that they can support their political agenda. So the leaders, liberation movement leaders such as Subhash Chandra Bose and Mahatma Gandhi, they were doing that. They were riling people. Just look how bad the British are. We have to become free from them. When we become free from them, there will be unlimited food, yeah? It will become like a heavenly planet. There will be rivers of mango juice, and Surabhi cows giving unlimited milk and ghee, and there will be plentifulness of other things. So giving picture like that. The only problem is the British people in India. We get rid of them, everything will be perfect. So there was lots of efforts to collect money, to support and to help with that crisis in Mednipur. And one of the disciples of Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur also collected some money for flood relief. And he offered those money to Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he did not use this money, or he didn't plan to use the money for food relief. He decided to make a theistic exhibition instead. Don't give food, you present Krishna consciousness in a very attractive way. Organize a preaching program. So some people became very, very upset about it, yeah? Atheistic people, envious people. Even there is so much money that people throw the money down the drain. If you want to use that money for some religious purpose, they will say, no, you're wasting money. Yeah? They waste money for so many things. It's not a problem. But if a devotee uses money for something like worship of the Lord, then suddenly there is a scandal. Oh, why this money is being wasted? So that's what happened. It became a scandal. And Subhash Chandra Bose, along with his political followers, they came to Bagh Bazar and they were rioting in front, protesting with banners, chanting, Jai Hind, Jai Hind, Jai Hind, and whatever else they were doing, I don't know. You can watch Abhay Charan, maybe he's there. So it was a big riot, big rocket in front. Mahatma Gandhi also came and they were protesting and they were quite upset and they were making a big and bad PR, publicity for the Bagh Bazar Math. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he spoke with them and he decided to counteract that bad PR with a newspaper, Nadia Prakash. And he started publishing, and in that he very nicely explained. He said, you people think that there is this flood in Manipur, but this is nothing. We all are already suffering from the flood of material existence, the ocean of material existence, Bhavasagar. So that's the flood we need to take care of. So therefore, this preaching program is being organized to nullify and to remedy the suffering the living entities are undergoing. So he started publishing, explaining the principles of Krishna consciousness to common people who are often misguided by so-called leaders like Mahatma Gandhi or Subhash Chandra Bose and other politicians who may be capable of some material management, but unfortunately, in this age of Kali, lack spiritual understanding. So, sometime later on, then the exhibition was happening in Midnapur. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, as you all know, he did not like small programs. It was like Srila Prabhupada, wasn't into mediocrity or smallness. He liked to do grand scale things. So he organized this huge program with elephants and electricity those days, and so many different things. So lots of money was being spent. And again, same thing happened. The political leaders became disturbed. How is this? It's such an affected, poor area. You better invest this money into some sort of economic development or feed the people, do something else. Why waste the money? So they came, and again there was some conflict. So Subhash Chandra Bose again came, and there was another lady who was from UK and who was one of the friends of Mahatma Gandhi. And she was preaching to the preacher, saying, don't do that. Why are you wasting the money? You want to do the worship of the Lord? It's all right. It's fine. You should worship the Lord. But the method you're using is wrong. Don't use that method. Instead, you worship Daridra Narayan. That is the Padati. Yeah, this is the bona fide way of, in this time, place, and circumstances, this is the method. This is the suitable method. Yeah? She was trying to convince him. You do Daridra Narayan Puja. Yeah? Don't worship Mahaprabhu by propagating his Sankirtan mission. Instead, you do Daridra Narayan worship. Yeah? You give food to these poor Narayans, yeah? These living entities who require the food. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, of course, being the Bhaktisiddhanta that he is, he very nicely explained to her that she is wrong, that this is Chit Jagad Vada. This is a talk when one tries to mix spiritual and matter. And he explained, just like a gold and stones don't mix. In similar way, the concepts of poverty and Narayan just don't exist. It is not something which is a reality. This is an illusion. This is a mental speculation. And she should not try to attempt to mix spirit and matter. Those two things simply don't mix. So the Lord has Srivatsa on his chairs. The Lakshmi, goddess of Lakshmi, always resides with him. A goddess of Lakshmi, she is the personification of all opulences. The Lord has unlimited names, such as Lakshmi Pati, the Lord of Lakshmi, of money. Sridhar, the holder of the all opulence, and so on and so forth. But somehow, due to envy, these people choose to call him Daridra Narayana, Poor Narayan. Unlimited names are there. You can chant any of the names, Lord, but they're not satisfied. They have to make up their own name. Daridra Narayan, Poor Narayan. They have to call the Lord of all opulence a poor man. So Srila Prabhupada very nicely explains in his purports that this is a very wrong concept, a really wrong concept, that this Mayavad idea is that Daridra Narayan means that the Brahman, the spirit, soul, God, becomes covered by Lord's mystic power, inconceivable mystic power. Yogam Aishwaryam, as Bhagavad Gita explains, this Lord has this inconceivable mystic power which covers everything. And that the Lord himself, he also becomes covered by this power. He forgets that he is the Lord, and those poor Narayans who have forgotten that they are the Lord, as a result of that, they're suffering some poverty. Yeah? If they become free from this concept, they become liberated from this concept that they are this material body, they become free from this darkness, then they will experience the true opulence of the Absolute. And the analogy or the logic that they give to support this statement is they give this analogy of sun and clouds. That sun is all light, isn't it? But when the clouds come, then the sun becomes covered by darkness. And some of you maybe don't know, because many people here from India, but when it's dark, then it gets cold, and then the rain stops being a rain, it becomes a snow, and when there is a snow, there is nothing to eat, yeah? And there is poverty all around. Poverty, yeah? The opposite of the piety and devotional service, Sarvato Bhadra Chakra. When the Lord is worshipped, in all directions, there is auspiciousness. When the Lord is not worshipped, as described in these verses, then Sarvato Abhadra Chakra, all around becomes inauspicious. And that's what happens in the certain impious parts of the world. There's a poverty there. There's no food in winter. There's snow. There's nothing to eat. So that's how they explain that snow, that cold material existence. That people suffer this poverty, this state of misery. So Srila Prabhupada explains it differently. He actually explains the reality of that situation and the misconception behind that philosophy. He explains that the Lord has unlimited potencies, parasya shaktir vividhaya shruyate, that the Lord is glorified in the scriptures for having unlimited potencies. And this illusory material energy is one of those energies. And the Lord, as per the philosophy of Achintya, Bheda, Bheda Tattva, is simultaneously one and different. And he explains very, very nicely this analogy also, with adds few important details. He says that in fact the clouds, the rain, the snow, they are inseparable from the sun. Without the sun, there is no rain, there is no cloud, there is no snow. So just like the sun causes all life, sun also causes disturbances, isn't it? And we see here practically in Mayapur, there's lots of opulence due to the hot sun that we are blessed here with. There's lots of lushness and lots of shak and other nice things growing very nicely. But when the sun becomes very, very hot, there's some disturbances also. Yeah? There's storms, and other things. And other parts of the world, less pious parts of the world, when there is no worship of the Lord, there's other things like snow and cold. So the Lord is just like the sun. Just like the sun is indifferent when the clouds come, the clouds don't cover the sun. It is only due to our limited perspective that we think that the sun has been covered. The sun is separate from the clouds and the rain and the snow. That's the Lord. So the Lord is never poor. He's never poor. So therefore, this concept of Daridra Narayan is a completely wrong concept. It's a mental speculation and nothing more than that. However, due to mental speculation, that's what happens. When people speculate, then they do some things like that. They distribute prasad, they distribute food, and they think they're worshipping the Lord. That is not a bona fide method or bona fide system of worshipping the Lord. This is a system which is based on the mental speculation. Srila Prabhupada also explains that the problem, a major problem that the Mayavadis have is that they don't accept smriti. Smriti means a tradition, means a bona fide processes and procedure for worshipping the Lord, because they only accept shruti, they only accept philosophy, and they don't accept smritis, they deviate. And they come up with this mental speculation, and they make up their own religious processes, like this process of worshipping or giving food to poor people and calling it worshipping of Narayan. So therefore, it is very, very important to follow the examples set by the acharyas, the tradition given to us by the acharyas, because by following that example, then one will be properly situated. And Srila Prabhupada said that philosophy without religion, without tradition, is a mental speculation. Religion without philosophy is a sentiment. So these are two extremes. And then in the middle there is Krishna consciousness. So the devotees of the Lord, they accept both Shruti and Smriti. They understand the transcendental philosophy. But when it comes to the application of this transcendental philosophy, they do it so under the guidance of the scriptures, previous acharyas, and spiritual master, guru, sadhu, shastra. And then life becomes perfect. So Srila Prabhupada says this is a very, very bad idea to think that feeding people is as good as worshipping the Lord. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur has one very beautiful prayer with the daridra, with the poverty, but it very nicely exemplifies the mentality of a Vaishnava when it comes to poverty. The Mayavad philosophers, they see the poverty of the Lord, and they think, being in the illusion they are God, they want to feed, they want to be the Bhaktaram Yagatapasarvam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. They want to bestow the benediction to the living entities and give some food and make themselves feel good. That's their method for dealing. That's their philosophy, that's their darshan, and that's their method. How to realize they being God by giving some food here and there. But Vaishnava doesn't think like this. Vaishnava also understands that there is poverty in this world. So Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur prays, Prema vina vyartha daridra jivana dashakori metana dehomore premadhana. So he says, life without money is useless, they say. We heard it many times. Oh Lord, please engage me in your service as love as my pay. So a very different perspective. Krishna consciousness is a solution to all the problems, to all the poverty of the Lord. If one lives in a place where people are poor and struggle, the primary thing to do is to establish a temple of the Lord, and when Narayan appears, luxury will be there and opulence will naturally follow. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. So one question, sorry, mistimed.
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I have one question. You know, India had been invaded time and again after its Brahminical culture was corrupted.
Mm-hmm.
You know, somebody was advising that if you corrupt the Brahminical culture of India, then you can conquer it. You know, first it was after the corruption of Brahminical culture of India, the Mughals came, and then the Britishers came. Would you please tell me the name of the person who suggested this? Is it Lord McNally who said that if you corrupt the Brahminical culture of India, then you can conquer it? Do you know the name of that person, Prabhu?
I didn't fully understand your question. I'm sorry.
I wanted to know the name of the person who suggested that if you corrupt the Brahminical culture, the Daivi Varnashrama Dharma or the Sanatana culture of India, then you can conquer it. So then the Britishers, first the Mughals came.
Okay, I get it now. Thank you.
And then the Britishers came.
I understood, Prabhuji. Thank you.
So I just wanted to know who the person was who suggested all this.
So, according to Srimad Bhagavatam, the person who suggested this all is known as Shripad Kaliraj Maharaj.
That's all right, but I just wanted to know the
He
name.
started it all. He suggested, well, you want people to be living in ignorance and suffering and become degraded, then let's destroy the Brahminical culture. Brahminical culture means the culture of worshipping the Lord. So the original culprit is Kaliraj. He started it all around 5,000 years ago. He had a good plan. He saw that the Dharma, religion, is staying very weakly on one leg. So he decided to destroy that other leg also. And then the age of hypocrisy and quarrel and so on and so forth started. Then obviously, following his instruction and leadership very enthusiastically, then the various Mlechas and Yavanas came in, including the Mughals and British, and they carry on his work that he began 5,000 years ago. So one of the there's many people who are contributed the deterioration of spiritual culture, but the main person, if you want to really the main person, then is Kali, as described here in Bhagavatam, and he has his chelas. Kali chelas are there, and they do his beating here and there and create some difficulties. So Kali is the one who started it all, and Kali is the one who should be fought. So how do we fight with Kali? We fight with Kali by propagating the Harinam Sankirtan movement. That's the way to counteract his influence.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. So we will end. It's almost 9 o'clock. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Samavada Gaura Bhaktavrinda ki jai. Jai Nitai Go Premanandi Hari Hari Bol.
Hari Bol. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, one more question was there. I was so but to